Are you going to ring Chris Harris at 9:20 on a weekday?
Oh no, I'm really nervous.
If you two got offered the opportunity to host the next generation of Top Gear, would you take it?
I'll start. No.
Okay, I think you're lying.
No,
I think you're absolutely lying.
So what? Another generation, another iteration
Yeah.
of something that just isn't working.
Yeah. Well, that's your opinion, though. It's not working.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an opinion that many people hold.
Yeah.
Now, I hold Chris Harris especially in very, very, very high regard, even though he doesn't respond to my phone calls. But
Let's call him up right now. Let's call him.
let's call him up.
Let's call Chris Harris.
Where is this
It's
your
there?
phone?
Yeah, it's my phone.
What time is it? It might be really
It is
late.
9:20.
Okay.
Are you going to ring Chris Harris at 9:20 on a weekday?
Oh no, I'm really nervous.
Now we got to do it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What are you going to do, though? You ring him, right?
Yeah.
And he picks up.
Yeah.
What if he does pick up?
Oh no, I'm really nervous.
What are you going to... Are you literally going to say...
I'm just going to say...
You're right, Chris. I'm just on
Can
a
I have
podcast
your
at the moment. And I was just going to see if you do pick up because I said that you don't pick up. That's all.
How about we text him? We just send him on WhatsApp.
No, there's no point. Just don't
send him
even
a
bother.
WhatsApp.
Just send
leave
him an
it.
email.
Just leave it. Just leave it. You've lost it now.
Oh,
If
yeah.
it was earlier, I would 100% do it.
Uh-huh.
How about on the next podcast, remind me.
All right.
We'll phone him up.
All right.
We'll phone him up.
Guys, I can fly. I swear. I just don't feel like it right now.
So, what was I saying? Chris Harris very good. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but
However-
Top Gear is crap, and you hate it. And,
No,
and
no, I
it's-
didn't say it was crap. No, I did say that, but I didn't say I hated it. I would say 2-3 years ago, absolutely would have jumped at the chance because I was 7-8 years into Car Throttle by then, getting a bit of itchy feet. But now, however, we have built Autoalex into what it is.
Yep.
I'm super, super proud of what that is. We've got shows, opening loads and loads of doors. What have you just dropped there?
I don't know.
Oh, for crying out loud. But because the reboot of the reboot didn't really take off. And for me, the shine of TV it's just dulled so much to the point where I'm more excited. Genuinely, I'm more excited about doing this and being in control of my own fate and not being told what to do or what to say. And I don't think I could go back to that.
I don't think you'd be able to do it. Even if it was in Top Gear of its heyday and they offered you the job, and I know you'd probably take it back then. I think you may have done a few months of it and realised that you hate it.
Why?
Well, so you are not very organised person, and also I've seen you try and do some script stuff and stuff like that, and then especially when you've got a room full of people.
That was a few years ago.
Do you think it's different now?
Yeah, I think it's different now because I've had more practice. It's all practice.
It really is practice. Yeah. It's not too bad now.
But it's not even the fact that you can't do it. I just don't think you enjoy doing it.
No, I don't enjoy being scripted at all.
No, like I know that if you were there trying to, like, where they're on track saying, all right, you need to now say this line, you need to then say that line and then blend into this.
The thing that I hate
don't
most
think you'd
about
like
that is it's not me, it's not spontaneous. So why am I doing it? Why don't you have someone else do it?
Okay.
And then it's like you don't want me for me, you want me for my audience, and that I can't live with that. I want them to want me for my merits and my skill.
Okay. I can see that, and I guess that's why Top Gear in its heyday was different than the one now, because now you have the guys that like already have a following somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then they
100%. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except, well, maybe not so much Chris Harris because they actually needed a proper car expert, right?
Yeah.
Because he was at the time doing very well on YouTube, but he wasn't known in the TV space, was he?
No.
He's filled the role very well, though, that they needed that person.
But they tried to script him at the very beginning in such a way that I looked at that and I was like, that's not Chris Harris. And you could tell that I'm speaking for him. I shouldn't, obviously, but to me, it just felt like he is so much more of a serious journalist than having whatever it was on his head and nipple probes and stuff. And I was just like, come on, like you're doing him a massive disservice.
Yeah, the thing I didn't like about like they try to put a lot of like hokey sort of reality show stuff that obviously was so very scripted.
Yeah.
I mean, Grand Tour does this as well, and I think they're trying to chase that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I was asked to do Top Gear, I would take it, like for sure, because it's just to see what that were. Huh?
I'm going to change this. If you take it, you have to end your YouTube channel.
No, I wouldn't do it.
No, that's part of it, because that would be the agreement you'd have to sign. Because
it wouldn't be, because here's the thing: if they are, first of all, if they're considering me for Top Gear, there's some leeway there, because they are scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's like I can ask for things, you know. It's like I want a trailer with only green M&Ms, you know. I think I would probably negotiate that I would still have a YouTube channel.
But if they said to you, you can only do one video every 2 months.
I mean, maybe, but like I would have to.
And they have to pre-approve all of your videos.
Oh,
no, of course not. No,
but,
I wouldn't.
But that would genuinely, in TV industry,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't let you, because obviously we're talking about this because we know what is happening with some other people.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow you to do what you're doing.
Well,
with TV.
here's the thing. I mean, everything kind of comes at a cost. So let's say if they paid me $10 million a year, then I would absolutely consider it.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I know they're not going to do that.
But be realistic.
That's what I'm saying. So that would probably be my break point. You know, like and I would go like, okay, then I guess this isn't for me.
But if they said to you, "We'll give you 200 grand for the year, and you get to be on TV,"
no,
okay,
because I mean, why would
So the only reason you would do it is for the money.
No, I wouldn't do it for the money. It's just I need to have that freedom. And the money allows me to at least understand that I'm not doing this for nothing. Like I'm not giving up that freedom for nothing. So there's like that freedom comes with a cost. So if they want to buy my time, if they want to have the sole exclusive rights to my time, that's going to cost them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it would have to be, X amount more than I would make on my YouTube channel on my own, just because that freedom costs so much. Like it's so important to me. But like, let's say if they gave me a $10 million a year contract, that's something where, okay, now I don't have to worry about my family eating for, the rest of their lives. Like this is something where like, okay, I'll take this hit, just for my, like freedom and career, but at least now everything's taken care of. And now I could figure things out. Like $10 million a year, let's say you do it for 2 years, that buys you a few years of like, what am I going to do next?
So it is about the money. If they were to offer you 10 million, you would say yes.
Maybe.
Okay.
Again, I'd consider it.
Would you not? Because obviously we've seen what's happened now with. Has it been 3 iterations since the Clarkson days?
Well, it was the one with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was.
Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah.
But wasn't Chris Evans with Matt LeBlanc?
Well, then he left, and then it was Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc and Rory, and then
Rory
and Chris.
Yeah.
And then
it's
Flintoff
and
so
the
yeah,
other
3.
guy.
So would you not be apprehensive about taking it purely because every single time you're just judged and compared, and like
that can't be good for your mental health.
No, but I mean, a YouTube channel isn't good for your mental health either. So,
but you have control of it. You've made it. You're not being cast in an existing beast that is going to get loads of hate.
It would be like if you two swapped channels, and Tavares was leading the Autoalex channel.
The Autoalex channel would do very well. This podcast is sponsored by Tyre Streets UK, where you can get 10% off your tyres using the code Autoalex. We use Tyre Streets for all of our cars, and so should you, and so should you.
I will.
10% off using the code Autoalex.
Yeah, I think you'd get hate, but it's also the idea that you have at least some sort of control of the franchise that you grew up watching.
But you'd have no control.
If you had no control, I mean, they have some control over what they say, like what they do.
But they are still meat puppets.
Do you think that they
still
don't have
scripted.
any control over what they do?
Well, within reason.
Yeah.
But they are still scripted to a point. You have to follow this, that.
Sure, but
don't be too spontaneous.
I would say it's 80% production, 20% them.
Okay, I mean that seems that at that point it's just a prison. So like what's the point? I do know that like just from doing Car Trek, I like having the the freedom of doing whatever, because we get to choose whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
If another person was telling us what to do, like, and we've had some sponsors be like, oh, hey, maybe you can do this, and it's just like a terrible idea. Then we're like, hey, we're not going to do that. I think the thing that's missing from Top Gear is the fact that the people actually care about cars and the people actually know what they're talking about, and they can string a sentence together. Chris Harris can do all three of those very well.
Yeah.
The other two, I've seen some. I honestly have not seen any episodes with the other two. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. But I've seen some clips, and it seems like
they definitely have a passion for cars. But do they live and breathe cars? No.
Yeah, like you need somebody that.
Yeah, they didn't grow up wanting to be Top Gear presenters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like the original Top Gear presenters worked so well because one, they had really good chemistry.
Yeah.
So and two, they're all writers. They're all writers and presenters, and they knew how to craft a story. They knew how to engage the audience. They knew how to convey a certain idea that they had. And it wasn't just like, I remember Chris Evans was on the thing, and all he was doing was screaming.
Yeah.
He's just screaming. He's
bizarre.
like, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's like, oh, okay, I understand. I get it. Fast car fast. I get it. But like, when Clarkson did it, he would say like, oh, this is,
He had
this
a
is like
poetic way of doing it.
Yeah, this is like a small dog. It's like, oh no, dogs don't have wheels. Just stuff like that. Like he would say things that like my brain isn't capable of making that. You know.
But the crazy thing is as well, because I looked it up beforehand. So we're talking about if you took Top Gear, why would you take Top Gear at the moment? Because if we compare numbers, one of your episodes is getting about the same as what Top Gear in its current form, or last current form, was getting.
Is it for you the cachet of being on TV? Is that something you've always dreamed of and chased?
It's not the TV. I think it's just Top Gear specifically. If it was some other TV show, I wouldn't give a crap.
But even if the name Top Gear doesn't resonate with people anymore, and people don't put that much emphasis on how good it is anymore, you still want that?
I tend to think that Top Gear is still in the back of people's heads. There's a thing where they still want it to do well, like they still want it to give them that little, Top Gear back in its heyday. Like, oh, I have the same centers in my brain. They're like, oh, I this is really good.
But we have that on YouTube. We do that.
No, I understand. I understand that. But I don't know. I think for me, it would just be like a little, maybe a selfish thrill where it would, be like a feather in the cap.
Yeah. I get
like,
that.
Like I was a presenter on Top Gear, even though Top Gear crashed and burned and had, a quarter of the views that my YouTube channel gets,
I was going to, obviously, Rory Reid. Is he glad that he did Top Gear? Have you ever spoke about that with him?
I don't know if we've ever
good question.
Spoken about it per se. I think it opened a lot of doors for him.
Yeah.
I think it shut up a lot of haters as well.
Yeah.
And
he came across. He was also someone that came across very well. I think
we were speaking about this earlier. Rory Reid for me is genuinely my favourite car reviewer.
Yeah.
Because he just oozes cool. He has such a way with words. He's very, very eloquent, and he gets across exactly how a car feels.
Yeah.
In a manner of like small sentences.
Yeah.
He doesn't fluff about.
Yeah, because to be fair, when I was that trio of LeBlanc, the trio of LeBlanc, Rory Reid, and Chris Harris, I feel like the only problem really was Matt LeBlanc. I feel like you could have.
I hated him on Top Gear.
Really?
I'm glad. I just didn't think he fit the role at all.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I think also the fact that we had the lead being an American. No offense to Americans, it just grated.
Yeah,
it didn't sit right because we had,
quote
unquote, three British gentlemen.
Yeah.
Who
grew
our humour
Top Gear.
is so different as well.
It's so
like
different,
you could tell some of the things would just go over Matt's head, like what that the other two were doing.
It just seems like Matt. What for me? It's like I look at him and I go, I could do that, and it's not. But like when I look at James May or Richard Hammond or Jeremy Clarkson, I'm like, I couldn't do that. There are stuff that like they're operating on a level where they've done this so many times that it's like they know when they're doing a bit.
Yep.
They know when to end it. They know when to cut. They know when to transition. and it's like they are masters of their craft because they make it look so easy.
Yeah.
And Matt, when he was doing that, you could see that he was like a fish out of water, and he was just like a meat puppet. It seemed like he was a meat puppet. Like he was just like, all right, producers told me to say this, look in this camera, do that, and like, whoa, blah blah blah, you know, like, and it just, everything just seemed, they had this artificial haze over it.
It was a bit wooden, quite.
It was very wooden,
yeah.
And it's weird because I mean he was the most animated character on Friends. You know, he's Joey. He's like you know larger than life, and you know he's making all these jokes. And whatever.
I wonder how he felt being cast in that position. Is it like, am I here on my merit, or am I here because I'm Joey?
It was his choice, wasn't it, that he left in the end?
Yeah, I think it would
so.
Have to be,
I'm guessing that's the answer there, isn't it? Really, he wasn't enjoying probably doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know he loves. He's a car lover.
Oh, he's a car nut. He's a massive car nut. Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird, but like I think he was a bad fit for that, because one thing that really is important in that is the three presenters' chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it boils down to. When you saw Hammond, Mann, and Clarkson in the cheap Porsches. And, there's this 928 that's just leaking. And then, May goes like, hold on, I got to fill mine up with electricity. And like they went, a total of 10 miles, throughout the entire episode. Like that stuff is, that's like legendary. Just because, they're making fun of each other, and then the way the story is told. And, I was talking with you guys about this earlier, like those iconic scenes, they're only like 15 minutes long. Yeah. Like, and your brain makes them like, oh yeah, it was a whole episode.
It was
like,
an epic. Yeah.
It really wasn't. Like, those the races against public transport, like those are like max 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's, it stays in your brain about like how they could pace these things and make them feel really, really special without actually taking that much time.
So let me circle back again and be realistic about this. The BBC, quite stingy, aren't they?
Yeah.
If they were to say to you, Freddie, I mean, what's a realistic budget for a year?
200 grand, I think, would be.
200 grand? Let's even say
salary.
300 grand for iteration 4 of Top Gear. £300,000.
For how many months of filming?
That's the whole season.
It's a season.
That's the whole year.
It's a year.
That's realistic as well.
A year of filming, you get 300 grand for Top Gear?
That's how much the current presenters roughly were on. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So that is crazy.
So are you in or are you out?
It's not like I'm saying 300 grand is not a lot of money. But when you're at that level, when you're at Top Gear BBC level and you're making 300 grand, that's insane.
But that's realistic.
Yeah.
So do you take the job?
I would have to have my own YouTube. Like my YouTube channel could not be changed in one bit.
Because I'm correct in thinking, even when it was Clarkson, May, and Hammond, I think even in their heydays, they were still only on like well, I say only. I think it was like 1 million something.
Yeah, it was just over 1 million or something for Clarkson.
Yeah, I know, but that's still better than 300 grand.
Yeah, but this is Clarkson.
Like,
and this is when they are the biggest of the big.
Yeah.
Like,
which is weird because they make a lot more money now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you make, I'm guessing here, but you make more money, or you can make more money on YouTube in a year.
Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly. So, would you still take the job? BBC in the UK, because let's face it, the American one was a bit shit.
I would do I would honestly do the American one because it's probably like that's the one that comes with no stipulations. That's the one that's like, hey man, you know
it
what?
Can only get better.
Just like don't get canceled on Twitter. That's it. That's it.
So we could have saved a lot of time because my answer was no, and your answer now is probably no.
Well, it's no asterisk. It's no asterisk
unless they pay me $10 million, which is never going to happen.
Freddie can't let the dream go. He can't let the dream go.
Okay. How about this? Next Top Gear, it's going to be me, you, and Rory. Not Rory.
No one wants to see that. I'll be like the little sidekick sort of. I'll be the Rory Reeves of Generation One of him coming in. Where
me, you, and Mike Brewer.
Oh, hold out your hand. I'm in. Rory, you're done.
Oh, okay.
Get the hell out.